wanted to get up a video and to show you guys how I make it. So I have most of the ingredients here. We're gonna start off with the sauce because I like to just have this kind of done and put aside because it is a stir fry. It does cook rather quickly. This meal will take you like 15 to 20 minutes to make. So the first thing I suggest making is your sauce and your noodles. These are the lo mein noodles. I actually have some water boiling, so we're gonna throw these in there rather quickly. I'm actually gonna open them up and put them in there, and then we'll get started on our. All right guys, so what I'm gonna do is add 1/4 cup of chicken stock. This is going to go in first. So this is 1/4 cup here. This chicken stock is just going to serve as like a loosener. It's gonna loosen it up a little bit. I'm gonna shake this up first. I'm gonna use about 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. This is actually a 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm gonna fill this up several times. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of hard to get out. So you know what? I'm gonna eyeball it, you guys. That should be enough. Because I feel like this is just so hard to get out. So then I'm gonna add like a tablespoon of soy sauce. Again, like I said, this is a 1/2 tablespoon here that I'm using in my hands. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of sesame oil. And the sesame oil is just for flavor. I'm just gonna take this and mix all of this together. And you're just gonna set this aside and leave it there until you're ready to add your sauce. So now we're gonna do our vegetables. So for vegetables, I'm using some scallions, some cabbage, and some carrot. I bought these and I'm just gonna slice them into like long pieces to go in so they'll cook faster. And then I'm also using ginger and garlic. I have 3 cloves of garlic here because I don't wanna overpower it. And then I have some ginger, which is super strong. So for this, I'm just gonna chop up into little pieces. The first time I made this, I made it in long pieces, and for me, it was just too much. So for this one, I'm just gonna slice up and dice it into like little tiny pieces, just for some flavor, because the garlic and the ginger is just gonna serve as an aromatic, so I don't wanna overpower my dish. And for cabbage, I'm just gonna also slice this into thin pieces because this takes a little bit longer to cook. So I wanna make sure that it's really gonna cook thoroughly. Or you can just use bok choy. I don't have any, so I'm gonna be using cabbage instead. So let's get chopping. So here I'm just smashing my garlic. I'm gonna mince it. I'm actually making my garlic a little bit fine. I didn't want to do huge pieces. You can. It actually cooks better when it's bigger because it doesn't burn. When you make it into smaller pieces, it burns a little faster. So it's really just preference, however you want to do it. I didn't want to overpower my dish, so I'm just adding 2 cloves instead of 3, like I said earlier. And then we're going to move on to the ginger. The ginger I'm going to cut into small pieces as well. The first time I made this, I did the long julienne pieces, and it was just too much ginger for me, so I kind of cut back on that and just we're going to do minced fine pieces of ginger for this recipe. And then I'm going to do the scallions. I just like to slice the top green part and save those for with the vegetables, and then the white part I'm going to add in with my ginger and my garlic. Again, you guys do not judge me on how I'm cutting. I am not a professional chef, but I will learn how to cut very soon so that we do this properly. But either way, the job gets done. So now I'm showing you guys how I'm separating. I'm adding the little white pieces into the ginger and garlic, and then I'm going to add the vegetables with the scallions, the green scallions. So here are my scallions with my vegetables. We're going to add that and get started. Alright guys, so we're going to move on to the chicken. I have 2 pieces of thin cut chicken breast here. I'm going to slice these at an angle, and then I'm going to make sure like they're cut into small pieces. All this meal really requires is just prep. So because it is a stir fry, you want to make sure that all of your things are cut up and ready to go. So you can just kind of throw everything in the pan. You don't want to be like doing this as you're cooking. You want to make sure everything is done. So I'm just going to take this piece of chicken and put it over here and start just slicing it at an angle. I'm also not going to season this because the sauce, you guys, is enough. And we have the garlic and the ginger, and that just adds like its own flavor. So honestly, I'm not gonna put any seasoning on this chicken, which is really different for me. I'm usually used to really seasoning my food, but I noticed that I really didn't need to season the chicken because we have the sauce we're gonna make, and then we also have our stuff over here that's gonna give it so much flavor. So you don't need any seasoning for the chicken. If you want to, you absolutely can. Maybe just some salt and pepper. But because we're using so much soy sauce, you're not really gonna need that because soy sauce has so much sodium already in it. So yeah, just avoid doing that if you can. So because these are egg noodles, they're gonna cook really quickly, no more than 5 minutes, you guys. So then I'm just going to drain them and then rinse them with some cold water. Like I said, they cook super fast, so just make sure you don't leave them in there too long. I have my pan heating up over here, and then I'm just gonna sit my noodles off to the side, and then we're gonna add in the Malaysian palm oil. Like I said, this oil can heat up to 450 degrees, so it's a very high smoke point oil. It's a great oil to use for this because it doesn't burn too easily. So we're gonna add in our garlic, onions, scallions. This is just gonna really flavor that oil, so I like to add that in first, and then I'll add my chicken. And all of this garlic and ginger and the scallions and even the Malaysian palm oil is going to season this chicken. I know it sounds crazy. I'm a big girl on seasoning, but I promise you guys, you really don't need a lot. The most I would say is salt and pepper just for taste, but you really don't, because that soy sauce and all of the stuff we're going to add in here really flavors this dish really well. So it's really up to you. It's a preference thing. Personally, I felt like the first time I made it, I did season the chicken and it was just too much. So that's why I'm telling you guys in this video, I'm not seasoning my chicken. Trust me, guys, you can trust me, I can cook. But for this dish, you really just don't need it. I'm gonna just be honest. So next, I'm going to be adding in my vegetables. We're gonna mix those vegetables around in there, and I like to just make sure these cook first. So I'm gonna cook them for about 5 minutes with the chicken. I wanted to do it while the chicken was still cooking and it wasn't like fully done because I didn't want to overcook my chicken. So I'm cooking all of this together, and I'm actually gonna cover it, which you guys don't see me do, and just kind of let those vegetables, because those carrots and that cabbage, they need a bit longer to cook. So then we're gonna add in our noodles. Again, noodles cook really quickly, so just make sure that you watch the time that you have them in the water. And then we're gonna add in our sauce. And as I add in the sauce, which you're gonna see right now, I'm gonna let it just kind of cook. That cornstarch in the sauce is what's gonna thicken this sauce. So don't worry if you don't feel like you have a lot of sauce. As you let it cook, like I said, see, it starts to thicken up and really become a sauce. And it starts to brown your noodles. So you can really just kind of leave these in there and kind of let them cook for a little bit, but not too long, because it is a stir fry. You're gonna overcook your noodles. So for me, I just kind of let that sauce cook in there. I did turn my heat down a little, and yeah. This is pretty much it, you guys. It was a super easy dish to make. So in this video, I'm actually using Malaysian palm oil. I am obsessed, you guys. I've been using it for about a month and a half now. It has a very high smoke point of 450 degrees, and it's a non-GMO oil. A lot of our oils are not non-GMO, which a lot of you guys don't know. I wanted to incorporate this oil because it's a lot healthier to consume. So I highly recommend using Malaysian palm oil. I'll link all the information down below and just give you guys like a quick little blurb underneath this video on why it's a better oil to use when you cook. So I highly recommend this, especially for dishes like this. It also gives it like a lot of flavor, so I really love it. So that's really it, guys. I'm gonna throw some soy sauce on top, just like a cap full, just for flavor. I like a lot of soy sauce, even though you kind of already have some in this dish. You know, it doesn't hurt just to add like a teensy bit more. We're going to taste it on camera. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's perfect, it's so good. You guys gotta try this dish. If you do, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to see your videos and your pictures. So please, guys, do not hesitate to leave me a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will will talk to you guys in my next Oh Ashley video. Bye!